From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
All right, Marketing Buzz time here on The Horse's Mouth on BluHorn TV, and of course at Tommy Max with our great panel who is back, Mike, Rebecca, Wes.
Try not to crack the glass this time.
I'm going to try.
You're being a little easier on
You know what?
glassware.
Don't make fun of my wife calling me daddy. I'm going to have to break shit on it, all right? Excuse my language. How are we doing?
Fabulous.
Marketing Buzz time. Tamara, what's our topic? Do we have a topic as of yet?
Yes. The topic is voice interaction continues upward. Thanks to Siri, Google, and Alexa, and a host of other smart devices, this is starting to become a preferred way to interact, and that you need to adapt to that. And one of the biggest things is that when someone puts in a text search for something, you get multiple results. When you do voice, you usually get like 1 or 2 or 3.
I want to call them audible. All right.
What?
Well, Wes's favorite new word is?
Twinkie.
Hey, thank you. Wes loves the bibliophile. So
Right,
I have got these great books here. The Secrets of the Happy Home Inspector.
Oh.
I've got
man,
Home
Molly.
Inspection Secrets. Now, this is not just your nighttime reading.
Yeah.
So,
If you Google or ask Siri, best home inspector in Jacksonville, do you get 1 result or 3? We should find out.
it'd be Wally
Ooh.
Conway,
Ooh.
Home Pro Inspection. Yeah, actually,
So wait a
Google
minute.
it.
Are we saying forget typing into Google, forget any of that stuff, just use the voice recognition?
But we're not going to talk about that.
Coming.
We are going to talk about the value of books.
No, I was taking a pivot from your pivot, and I will pivot back. What?
No, I want to know. So in marketing,
I want to know, did you have a Twinkie in your pocket?
No, I just figured
Best
Mike would
voice
come up with a really bad
inspector
idea, so I would give him the
in
worst
Jacksonville.
snack on the planet to commemorate that really bad idea, like he has right now. He's making fun of Rebecca.
no, I'm being so on the marketing side. Our good friend Wally Conway
Yes.
has written a lot of great books. Now, we had a customer that came in, and she's recently written a book. And she was all excited. She's got this book. She's launching the book,
Yeah.
putting it out there.
Yep.
What is the value today in a hard copy book? I want your guys' opinions on this. So, does it extend credibility? Does it actually sell? Do people actually make money nowadays on writing their book? Because those services are everywhere. You're self-publishing. So, I want to flip it over to the crew here to say, what is the value of a great book, which has awesome information? Look, I can even get my chimney swept. So if you need your chimney swept in Jacksonville, which a lot of people do,
There you go.
call Chimney Champions.
So you're saying holding the book as opposed to Kindle. What's the value?
What's the
Or
value
whatever
of
else reason.
people writing a book for their business reasons
If you've
nowadays?
got a book and you're the named author on it, whether you wrote it or not, and it's published, you have instant credibility. I don't care who you are.
Wow.
I don't care if you self-publish it. You have instant credibility.
I self-published my book back in 2000.
It was a great book. I actually read it.
Did you really?
How many people read your book?
Over 2,000. Bought it.
All right.
Yeah, over the years, you know. So they still come up and say, hey, I loved your book. I love the story.
Tom sells them at the bar here.
I think it was,
You want to sit at the bar? I'll give you a beer if you buy
I
a
think
book.
it was the
You get a
last book I
Twinkie
ever read.
and a book and a beer. What else? What could go
It
wrong?
was a great book about your dad. Right?
Yeah, it was. Thank you very much. Yeah, but today I don't know. Do people buy hardcover books?
So the bibliophile, that was looking at someone who loves reading books. If someone that you're looking to buy a service has their own book published, does that extend more credence nowadays than Google reviews? Or how do you put that into the equation of credibility or buying a service?
There's a really popular book out there called Celebritize Yourself. Forget the author, but if you look it up, it'll instantly pop up. And she wrote it several years ago, and her whole thing was no matter what industry you're in, whether you're a writer, whether you're in media buying and planning, whether you're in software, whatever it is, if you have your industry, you write a book about it to help people and you release it, you instantly celebritize yourself. So like Wes said, you gain instant credibility, you gain authority within your brand and your industry. And if you look at different statistics, if you offer different formats of your book, from Kindle to
Audiobooks for Mike who can't read.
It increases.
Actually, now you're making fun of Tamara. She listens. She said last week she listens to audiobooks.
Audiobooks. So
Such a
having them
jerk, Liz.
available in multiple formats is very important.
But what does it mean that you actually remember the book title but not the author? So She's not
long
really a
as you can
celebrity,
find
but
it.
the book is memorable, right? You can probably
Yeah.
picture the cover of the book.
I can actually picture her too because she's on the cover. I just can't. I've read
It's
it so
fine
long
because
ago.
she just told a bunch of people about that book. We're going to go find it,
Yep.
see her, and then there's going to be a bunch of other
But that's the
resources
power of
you
it.
can get
Right.
from her.
Now, when you're writing about business like Wally, I think you got to have multiple books. Because you take a guy like John Gordon.
I
who's
got
a great,
the whole series.
No,
here.
I know. Like John Gordon, who's a local, writer, influencer, a guy that motivates people. He's got like 10 books. That first book, The Energy Bus, I remember I read it. It was a great book. I haven't read any others, but he's
I'm
written
not reading
all
10.
these books, and I think that does even lead more credit if you're writing for a certain business. I think, if it's just fiction, I don't know, or just like my book's just a one and done. I mean, what am I going to follow up with?
To build on, that's actually a really good point. So what you just said is super important. How in the music industry we've switched from releasing an album every 2 years to releasing a single on a very regular basis. It's actually a very popular tactic to grow your...
To just release chapters?
To actually release books on a very regular basis, except these books aren't your typical like novels. They're nonfiction. They're going to help people with a very specific problem, and they have a very specific solution. And you put those, especially in ebook format, and you release them on a regular basis, and that grows your
So
brand
ebook
very
now.
quickly.
So back to
Versus
the hard copy.
Right.
Is a hard copy still valuable, and what purpose does it serve to people other than the bibliophiles?
It's a
Yes.
great marketing piece. It's a great leave behind that's going to probably sit on someone's desk or in their office for longer than your business card. It's the ultimate business card, if you ask me.
I find
in
him
marketing-
everywhere. I think every time he's in the studio, he drops these books everywhere.
He actually does. He does. I find them all the time myself.
And then he invoices me per book.
That is a great
He says, well,
tactic.
you took them.
I think people still want to touch.
I
though.
will say too,
Right.
your
A
book,
lot.
your
Yeah.
book is only as strong as your marketing plan for it.
Sure.
Even pre-launch. So a lot of people think just post-launch. Pre-launch, you have to be doing a number of things to garner attention for it before it even releases, because you have that wonderful pre-save and pre-order button so many times now within your ebook platform.
Anticipating the
So
release.
you've got to have a strong marketing plan for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the hard copy book obviously has a longer shelf life, right? All the other digital things, they get drowned out. Whatever's on top in digital is the most popular, the most new, or whatever.
Yep.
And people are starting to look now at print and even magazine and ads, and media buying is something that's going to be around there longer. It's going to be at a salon.
Yep.
So you can get some more impressions or looks at it that you aren't necessarily paying for initially, because it's just kind of hanging out and it's around.
Yep.
So it might have some value in that respect as
How
well.
about coloring books?
Those made a huge comeback with adult women. Adult women were buying up like these coloring books made specifically for adult
There's a
women.
joke
so
here.
judge.
There's a joke here
Really?
that could have.
Oh God.
I'm not even going to go there.
Let's have one of these shows not be a
Tom,
train
that
wreck.
could be your next book. A coloring book.
Coloring book.
But I was hoping you'd write a book called How to Get Your Wife to Call Me Daddy.
To call you daddy or call me?
Well,
Is
however
it
you wanna
They
put
call
it.
instruction
you
manual?
daddy,
An
buddy.
instruction manual.
Can we
I'll
get
see
that as
That's
a
between
coloring
you and
book?
Guy. He didn't make you right.
Ultimately, Wes is the chief architect for BluHorn. So Wes should write a book on development, but then would too many people call him out on his BS
Who's
if it
gonna
was
read
in
that?
writing?
It would be right next to Marketing 101, which
Alright.
is
I'm buying marketing.
all about I. Yeah.
But there's a we in team, right?
Like if you turn it upside
Somewhere there.
down.
There's an E. There's
And
not
the
a
M's
we.
it upside down. We're close. We're
Like-
close.
So Tom, what is your opinion then? So with a business owner,
Yep.
you would recommend that it's still good that if you know a lot about a subject to write a book, print it up, and use it as a marketing tool.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look. I remember when my book was delivered. I mean, that was like an incredible amount of satisfaction, right? Writing a book takes a long time. I mean, it's not like you just write and you're done. You got to go through the editing. I mean, you got to change a lot of things. So that's number one. Number two, I think a lot of people. You have it out here in the whatever you call it, the foyer out there. You've got.
I've got a couple
row
autographed
of
copies that Wally's actually signed,
Nice.
which increases.
But people
value.
do like collecting books, don't they? They like put them on their shelf. I don't know. Maybe it makes them feel smarter. Or look at all the knowledge I have. I've
Only if
written
they
all
read
of these
them.
books.
Tom, look at where your book landed you. That's the host of the
Right here.
Horse's Mouth. Yes, it's the ultimate
What else did I
success story.
want? No doubt, man. It rolled right into it, Wes. It rolled right into it. So back to voice recognition.
in Audible
So when you're looking for books, don't Google it.
Right?
Ask Siri.
Ask
about it.
Siri.
Our next segment, we'll talk about voice recognition.
Voice
All right.
recognition, yeah, because Mr. Twinkie guy over here pivoted,
Hijacker.
right? You pivoted, yeah, he hijacked the damn show. What's wrong with you?
I was
getting next to
curious.
you
It
on an
was a
airplane.
real marketing challenge that was presented
Well,
to us.
before we table it, the most important piece of advice anyone who's thinking about publishing a book can just put in their head is please, for the love of God, hire an editor.
Yeah,
That is
definitely.
the number one
Yeah,
that people
huge.
often overlook. They think, oh, I can edit my own book. It's
No,
fine.
you can't.
Yes, I
It
can.
is. It is awful.
It's hard to
Hire
edit
an
a book.
editor. Yeah.
I agree with that, 100%. And a third-party editor. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, for
That's
sure.
someone that's not part of the publishing house or what have you. So let someone else
Absolutely.
take a look
Objective
at it.
observer.
Yeah, I'm assuming Mike would have a lot of errors in his draft.
I edit many
Never.
of his things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does he?
Does he
Wow.
actually write?
No.
Okay.
He puts
got a
letters and
ghostwriter.
words together to try
Siri
and make
doesn't
sentences.
like me. She misspells on purpose.
He writes
what
in
I say.
code. It's a code. You have to decipher. It's
Yeah.
fun. It's super fun.
Well, I really enjoyed the fact of this particular show that you guys came in from outside. Mike grabbed 3 books and you grabbed the Twinkie.
That is
show. I
the story
think
of
it's
our life here at
fantastic.
BluHorn, man. I don't know what it is.
Cheers, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Talking Marketing Buzz right here on the Horse's Mouth from Tommy Max on BluHorn TV.